it is wicking time. I am going to re-wick my Cyclon V2. I've already cleaned all the bits. Got a bit missing. There he is. So it's all clean, it's all ready to go. I'm got all my kit of parts there, my wire and my pliers and my screwdriver and the old bent gnarled wick that came out of it. So it's time to get kinky with wire. I have seen some comments online where people say it's tricky to re-wick, and they are right. Okay, so here we have the top section, here we have the tank that I've just cleaned out, here we have the sort of mid section with the hole that has the wick going through it, and here's the base section where your wick sits in that little tiny hole just there. Now this is a cut down wick because I also read on the forums that shorter the wick the better the wicking, and that certainly was true, so I'm going to probably go another couple of mil longer than that. And that's one thing that I would say, it's really important to keep organised. First couple of goes there were bits of wire everywhere, so I'm going to find a piece of this stainless steel mesh that is going to suit my requirements, and I think that is where I'm going to cut there. I forgot the key point of this is scissors. Don't need to be too precise, I don't think. You just whack a lump off, really. You know, I would say that is probably that's probably it. That's going to be the length there, you see. So that's fine. So let's get winding this wick. I was in Tesco the other day and I found this really impressively big needle. Now it's not going to be this thick when we're finished, but it just gets the wind going. Now also the important thing is to try and get it as straight as you can from the get-go. So there is a very chubby wick. Now to get it to tighten up, you just keep rolling it between your fingers. You'll find the way that it needs to go to tighten up. So there's my finished wick, and it's ready to be oxidized. So what we'll do is we'll get out a paper clip and just thread that on like so. Now we go to fire. Best not to do it when the blowtorch is lit either, otherwise it's a chef's blowtorch. Needless to say, very hot, be careful. It's probably best to hold it with pliers. I made that mistake the first time I did it. I will tell you it was quite warm. And all we do is we just give it a quick burn. So we can see it's changing colour quite nicely. Then I just let that go out, see a little puff of smoke, and that basically is putting a layer of carbon on the stainless steel. So the idea is the stainless steel doesn't conduct electricity. Right, so that's now very hot. So I'm going to very carefully move it off the paperclip, put the paperclip far away, and there we have the wick, darkened by flame. The paperclip has cooled down quite considerably. No, it's cool, it's fine. And we get our canthol wire. Now the canthol wire comes on a spool like this. I got this from the meshcompany.co.uk. They're not really an e-cig supplier as such, but they have realised that there's a market out there and they are selling it. My one complaint is that this wire has got kinks in it because of this bobbin thing. So, you know, I prefer a spool, but you know, it hasn't given me much trouble. But in the quest for no hotspots, kinky wire isn't your friend. And I decide which end is going to be my coil end, and I think I'm going to go for this end here. And what I normally do as well is I just snip off the top bit into a bit of a sort of arrow, and it's time to start winding the coils. Get it as close to the bottom as I can. The reason I keep it on the paper clip is it just gives you the ability to keep some tension and it won't bend the wick. Right, so winding them around is the trickiest bit, and I've got too many coils on here, but for me, I know I'm going to use this on a kick device, so I know the kick is going to help me out quite a lot to get consistency. I've got way too many, so I'm going to take a couple off and then end up with about 4. The time has come to join it to the bottom base bit, and I just find it easier to work with that bottom section off. The actual atomizer connector I take off. Having that flat enables you to work on it quite easily. Now what I'll do is I'll just put just a drop or 2 of juice on there and let it sit in the juice for a bit. And that sort of sets it to the coil. So that's just the juice burning off it, but that also helps, I find, with hotspots as well. So you want that bottom wire to be as straight as you can, and because you've run it through a lighter, it's much less springy now. Holding that wire, see? So just holding that with my finger. And now you'll tighten that screw up. So that is it set, that is it ready to go, screwed onto the base, and now I'm going to put it onto a device and run it as low as possible. So this is at 3.3 and I'm just going to pulse it. See it bubbling away there. One thing with pulsing on an MVP is you keep switching the damn thing off. After a little while, just give it a good burn just to see if you've got any hot spots. So I think that's just about there. I'm just going to raise the voltage to probably about 4 volts because I have got quite a few coils on this. Seems to be running okay. Okay, time to put this thing back together. Dunk and push. Like that. I think that looks lovely. That's a nice looking device with a metal drip tip. Great. Oh, that is hitting really hard. 36 milligrams. Great flavour. Tends to get better. Next couple of days, it'll start to bed in that wick. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Right. So, that was my kinky guide to recoiling the Cyclon V2. Next time, I'll be looking at the Cobra and the joys that holds.